Top 10 cities to live in Europe. Number 1. Vienna, Austria. This Central European metropolis filled with spectacular Baroque buildings has been at the crossroads of history for centuries. Modern Vienna still holds an alluring charm and brings in millions of tourists every year. Historically, a gathering point for artists and freethinkers, it maintains this status even today. There are often contemporary art installations throughout the city. The streets exude the Habsburg royal culture while welcoming people of all backgrounds. Geographically set on a crossroads, here you can come into contact with a variety of ethnicities and traditions, which makes it one of the best places to live in Europe. Vienna has plenty of incredible neighborhoods and is also known as an extremely safe city, with street crime and serious crime at an astonishing low. As a new arrival, you will certainly feel safe walking the Viennese streets after dark. For those working and traveling across the city, Vienna's transport system is a well-oiled network that is both efficient and relatively cheap to use. Finally, the countryside surrounding Vienna is a haven for hikers, walkers, and those who love breathtaking views. It is only a short distance from the inner city to the idyllic foothills. Number 2. Lisbon, Portugal. Although Lisbon has a metropolitan air about it, it has succeeded in retaining a laid-back Mediterranean style of living, earning its place among the coolest European cities. The city's trajectory from being a port, a trading center, and a tourist haven today shows its ever-changing nature. Portugal offers tax benefits to foreigners through the NHR scheme. This scheme allows you to be exempt from tax on most of your foreign income. NHR has been a great incentive for many foreigners from all around the world to make Lisbon their second home. Famous for its longevity, it's one of the oldest cities in the western part of Europe. Its streets show an impressive blend of ancient and modern. You can consider Lisbon a safe city to live in with low crime rates. It competes with Helsinki and Vienna to become one of the top 3 metropolitan centers in Europe. Apart from being safe, Lisbon is quite liberal and welcoming to foreigners. People are accepted in the city of Lisbon despite their gender, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or social status. Whether you are an immigrant or a local, you will find your own space in the city. The accepting atmosphere ensures that various cultures can coexist in the city. On the practical side, the low pollution rate and low cost of living make this city an excellent choice for a stable home. What makes it one of the best places in Europe to live is its astonishingly low crime rate. Most people feel very safe in Lisbon. Number 3. Dublin, Ireland. The capital of Ireland has long held a place in the minds of well-trodden travelers as a must-visit place, and with good reason. The palpable atmosphere of the city is something that permeates into everyone, whether tourists or residents of this ancient city. With major companies such as Facebook, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, Airbnb, and Dropbox setting up in the city, Dublin is a great place for professional expats to settle. The compactness of Dublin also means that many Dublin neighborhoods can be accessed by foot, making it a lot easier to get around. This also means everything is on your doorstep when you need it, a unique feature of living in a European capital. Unlike many other major capitals, it is only a short journey out of the city and into some of Ireland's most picturesque and idyllic scenery. On the other hand, Ireland consistently ranks strongly in terms of quality of life. Most recently, the United Nations listed it second in its annual ranking of 189 countries, just after Norway. This is largely thanks to Ireland's high levels of life expectancy, education, and income. Despite the increasing cost of living in Dublin, it is still a great location to live. Number 4. Amsterdam, Netherlands. Amsterdam has developed into a far more modern and multifaceted city, and one that competes on the European stage. The beauty alone draws many expats to the city. The interwinding canal systems offer an idyllic look that is typical of Amsterdam. This small village sea feeling is one of the reasons both expats and natives love the city. Families may also see Amsterdam as a great European city in which to live. The cost of living is relatively low and the school system is renowned across the continent. The many parks and green spaces dotted across the Dutch capital also provide ample space for children to play, making it one of the best cities in Europe for families. Another reason the city is open wide to many expats communities is the Dutch people's ability to speak the English language. Although learning the local language is common courtesy and will open many new doors for you, the linguistic skill of the natives is an impressive characteristic of not only Amsterdam but the whole of the Netherlands. According to the ranking of the most cultural cities in the world, Amsterdam has 96 theaters, 81 museums, and 54 art galleries. This gives you plenty of options to spend your free time. And if museums aren't your thing, there are also over 1,500 cafes and bars to visit. Number 5. Bern, Switzerland. The surrounding alpine scenery, varied flora and fauna, the city itself is home to 130 parks, and fresh mountain air make it a popular place for families, who also benefit from a top education system, first-class sporting facilities, and excellent employment prospects. German is the main language spoken in Bern, though Italian, French, and Romansh are also official languages. The city's architecture is so well preserved that it gives you a glimpse into its medieval past. The gorgeous old town, the centuries-old fountains, and the crystal-clear Ara River are all reminders of why this city is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Bern has it all, from a well-organized healthcare system and more than sufficient salaries to a low crime rate and limited pollution. The streets are safe and clean, and public transport is very well organized. This picture-perfect gem is one of the best European cities to live in. Number 6. Brussels, Belgium. The Belgian capital of Brussels is an iconic and cosmopolitan city, most famous for being the headquarters of the European Parliament. This status is a perfect reflection of Brussels' multicultural and Eurocentric character. From a professional and career-building point of view, Brussels is a fantastic place to set up home. As the de facto capital of the EU, Brussels welcomes politicians and businesses regularly from all over Europe. Apart from job opportunities, the city has a lot to shout about when it comes to its history and culture, something that makes living in the city a joy. The nighttime of this Belgian capital is also one of its best features. Attracting different societies and nationalities from across Europe, Brussels has become a multicultural and multinational city and one of the best cities in Europe for expats. In Brussels, food is an art form. This gourmet haven has more Michelin stars per head than any other destination in the world. In fact, the whole of Belgium is a paradise for food lovers, and one doesn't need to spend heavily in one of the country's many Michelin-starred eateries to have a delicious feast. Number 7. Prague, the Czech Republic. The economic state of Prague and the Czech Republic is booming right now, and opportunities for work have probably never been better for expats. With big companies like Amazon and Expedia growing like wildfire, the demand for English speakers has also been growing steadily. Along with travel, online opportunities, and other 21st century startups, Prague is becoming quite popular for millennials. If you are interested in teaching English in Prague, you will have no problem finding work. With the world being more and more connected, the Czechs have realized the importance of English, and now almost every school has English classes. After-school programs and private lessons are super popular too. Prague is praised for being a melting pot, having an ideal climate, excellent educational opportunities, and a relatively affordable cost of living. Moreover, its private and public healthcare system is highly functional and reliable. Number 8. Cologne, Germany. One of Germany's oldest cities and a center for Germanic culture for centuries, Cologne is an often overlooked gem when it comes to European cities. Cultural attractions include Cologne Cathedral, one of the tallest churches in the world, and the Ludwig Museum, home to Europe's largest collections of Pablo Picasso artworks. Though much of its medieval infrastructure was destroyed during the Second World War, Cologne retains that distinct connection with the past, with art and culture part of the city's very fabric. As German employment goes, Cologne is a fantastic place to settle. Home to the country's main media centers, Cologne employs over 23,500 media companies and produces a third of the nation's television programs. Education is also a major element of city life in Cologne, with 100,000 students and more than 3,000 researchers based here. The University of Cologne is one of Europe's oldest universities. In addition, people in Cologne are extremely nice and friendly, and it is quite easy to get by even if you don't speak German. Cologne's network of railway, motorway, and air routes makes it a major European transport hub. Brussels is less than 2 hours away by rail, while fast trains to Frankfurt take just over an hour. Cologne-Bonn Airport, less than 15 minutes by train from the city center, has direct flights to Berlin, London, Madrid, Milan, and Istanbul. 16 million people live within an hour's drive of the Cologne economic region, according to the city's Chamber of Commerce. Number 9. Valencia, Spain. Voted as the best place to live in Europe for expats in 2022, Valencia is a coastal paradise set in East Spain that dates back to 138 BC. Because it had been ruled by many, the Romans, the Moors, the Visigoths, today, it encompasses a mixture of architectural styles, different cuisines, and upholds a multi-ethnic community. As a model Mediterranean city, it breathes a cool and hip lifestyle, ideal for people in their 20s and 30s. It maintains its status as one of Spain's industrial centers while continuing its expansion. Valencia is close to the other two cities of Spain, i.e. Madrid and Barcelona. You can easily travel to Madrid by fast train and reach there in 2 hours, while you can get to Barcelona in approximate 3 hours. Not only these two cities are closer to Valencia, but you can also plan a trip to Mallorca, Alicante, or other seaside places in Spain. Number 10. Cardiff is a gorgeous example of Welsh culture. Cardiff Castle, Bute Park, and the National Welsh Museum are just some of the highlights of the city. The well-kept and safe city offers people a chance to settle down for good. Its temperatures typically rarely go below 5 degrees Celsius or above 20 degrees Celsius, and for an average-sized city, its pollution levels are fairly low. It ranks high on the environmental scale as it's one of the greenest cities in the UK, having over 3 dozen green spaces, including parks, gardens, forests, bodies of water, and so on. In addition, most things are within walking distance. All this makes Cardiff one of the best places to live in Europe for English speakers. The cost of living and purchasing power are relatively decent but could stand to see some improvement. This might be the only disadvantage of living in Cardiff. Last but not least, what really makes Cardiff the best is without a doubt the people. It's not just a myth that the Welsh are friendly, and there is certainly a warmth and kindness that you feel amongst the Cardiffians. Whether you are ordering your coffee or paying for your shopping, you will always be welcomed with a smile. And that's all, folks. I really hope you enjoy the video.